final decision pertaining to that before we send it off to ministry for final approval.
Yoni Epstein, who heads the Montego Bay Multisports Development Limited, says his entity fulfilled all the process as transparent.
It's a start in a journey of us bringing the sporting fraternities back to its leadership role here in the West, where as a group we're very proud of the offer that we have put forth to the St. James Municipal Corporation, and now it was just a wait and see to see what's next in the process and how long before we can sign the lease and call it the home of football, track and field, aquatics, tennis, futsal, and all the other things that we have planned for it.
Epstein, who indicated that the bid will see his company spending just over $694 million to develop the stadium, provided some details as to what will take place in the years to come.
The first things we're going to do is, we're going to continue to upgrade the pitch to international standards. We're going to upgrade the lights to get us to the levels that the stadium will then be approved for CONCACAF matches. And the resurfacing of the track and field track. Those are the first things we're going to be focusing on. Then we'll focus on the tennis, the futsal, and the aquatics.
The Montego Bay Sports Complex, which seats 7,000 spectators, will have operational funding of just over $51 million per year. Keon Reyna reporting for TVJ Sports.
We join Al Jazeera now to get the latest in the world of sports internationally.
Rafa Nadal has been busy training ahead of the Davis Cup as he gets ready for the final tournament of his professional career. Spain face the Netherlands in the quarterfinals later on Tuesday, with Nadal scheduled to play in one of the singles matches. And the 22-time Grand Slam champion says he is at peace with the prospect of ending his tennis career. Tom Seisland has more.
On Tuesday, Spain will begin their quest for the Davis Cup title on home ground in Malaga. But win or lose, it will be remembered as the last dance for one of the sport's greatest. It was at this tournament 20 years ago that Rafael Nadal thrust himself into the spotlight, the teenager's victory against Andy Roddick handing Spain victory. He's now 38, his body and mind unable to keep in touch with the player that went on to win 22 Grand Slams. He vows to bow out the way he started.
With passion, with love, and with the determination to be as good as possible, no? And I am not the kind of guy that I will say, no, I will not change things. But one thing have been so important for me, because I'm going to live this professional tour with the calm and with the personal satisfaction that I give my best almost in every single moment.
And it's difficult to argue with that. Only Novak Djokovic has more Grand Slams. They say records are there to be broken, but his 14 French Open titles are unlikely to be surpassed. He's lost just 4 of his 116 matches at Roland Garros. It's the best of any player at any Grand Slam. And he's won a staggering $135 million in prize money too. But now injuries have had the final say, and this will be his final showdown, as Spain begin their challenge in the quarterfinals against the Netherlands. Nadal has selflessly said he won't play if his teammates are in better shape. They'll be aiming to reach Sunday's final and a first title in 5 years.
I'm not here for retiring. I'm here to try to help the team. Then it's of course going to be my last week on the professional tour, but something that I have been thinking for quite a long time, on and off during the season, but I tried always to give me one more chance.
And this will be his last chance. The first of his 92 career titles was the Davis Cup. He'll be hoping his last one is too. Tom Seisland, Al Jazeera.
Morocco has secured a 6th straight win in Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. The World Cup semi-finalists hit 7 goals against Lesotho as they build up to hosting next year's event. Real Madrid's Brahim Diaz scored a hat-trick. As host Morocco were guaranteed a spot in the finals, they maintained a perfect record in qualifying regardless. Gabon are the other team to press out of their group. The Cup of Nations kicks off at the end of 2025. Sudan have defied conflict in the nation to clinch a place in AFCON after a tense goalless draw against Angola. All of their home ties have been played on neutral ground since the country's domestic league was suspended in April last year amid violence in the region. The draw in Benghazi, Libya was enough to finish second and progress. All the world's bottom-ranked side, San Marino, have won an away game for the first time in their history as they beat Liechtenstein 3-1. It was just the third time the tiny European nation have won a match, with all of them coming against Liechtenstein. It's also the first time they've scored more than one goal in a competitive match, let alone 3. Huge celebrations at full time as it secured them promotion to the third tier of the Nations League.
It is the stuff of football fantasy.
Well, Croatia through to the quarterfinals after they drew 1-1 with Portugal. Portugal were already assured of their place. Chelsea forward João Felix gave them the lead. But Croatia equalized through Manchester City's Joško Vardiol. That was the point they needed. In picture here is Mexico head coach Javier Aguirre, who was struck in the head with a full can of beer by a Honduras supporter at full time. Honduras have now been ordered to play their next home match behind closed doors due to the incident. It occurred after their CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal first leg tie, which Honduras won 2-0. The return leg is in Mexico on Wednesday. Live golf Sergio Garcia is set to rejoin the PGA European Tour for the 2025 season as he aims to qualify for next year's Ryder Cup. Garcia joined the Saudi-backed Live Golf in 2022 and resigned from the European Tour last year. But in order to rejoin the tour, he'll have to settle outstanding fines exceeding well over $1 million that were imposed on him for playing live events without permission. The Ryder Cup gets underway in New York in September. In the NFL, Joe Mixon had 3 touchdowns as the Houston Texans thrashed the Dallas Cowboys. Mixon also rushed for 109 yards as he inspired his side to their first franchise victory at Dallas's AT&T Stadium. The 34-10 win means the Texans are on top of the AFC South Division, while the Cowboys have now lost 5 in a row.
Mixon, touchdown.
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks left it late but managed to beat the Houston Rockets just in the nick of time. Damian Lillard scored with just 3.9 seconds left in the game to give Milwaukee a comeback win of 101-100. Lillard scored a total of 18 points in the game, while Houston's 5-game winning streak was snapped. NHL legend Wayne Gretzky is close to having his all-time leading goal record broken by Alex Ovechkin. The Washington Capitals forward scored 2 goals in their game against the Utah Jazz on Monday. The 39-year-old Russian now has 868 career goals in his 20th NHL season. Ovechkin needs only 27 more to surpass Gretzky's historic record that the Canadian has held for the last 25 years. And a violent collision resulted in a scary moment for one of the referees. Colorado